Satchidananda Vigraha Adi Adi Govinda
Anjana Salakaya Chakshur Militandina Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtyam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Sang Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Sapadantikam Bandeham Sri Guru Sri Jatapadagamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Shagrajatam Shagana Raghunathannitam Tang Sajivam Shadaitam Shavadhutam Parijanam Shahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Shagana Lalita Sri Shakhan Sha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Ti Namini Bhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripathaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnanam Daini Prabhavi Namaha Madhu Jayujjala Pramadhya Sri Rupanuga Bhakti Da Sri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namastate Namaste Gauravani Sri Murtaye Deenatarini Rupanuga Viruddhyapa Siddhanta Dhandaharini Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaur Bhaktavinda He Krishna Karuna Sandhu Deenavanda Jagatpati Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Brahmanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Mancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Tatropayo Sahasranam Ayam Bhagavato Ditaha Jadishare Bhagavati Jathajai Ranjasarati. So, in last meeting,
in our last meeting,
we discussed that we have
discussed that we have to
crush the seed of this material existence.
Cross the sea of this material existence.
Bija nirharanam yoga. Bija, so long the seed is there, we may
Sanskrit, so long, bija, so long as the seed is there.
So if that's seed, that means what he said just before that was to crush the seed of material existence. Means the same thing as cross the sea of material existence. But if he said seed, then it must be crush the seed.
practice something for spiritual realization, meditation.
Practice something for spiritual realization, meditation.
Or the gymnastic yoga, or there are so many other things.
Or the gymnastic yoga, or there are so many other things.
But the seed is there.
But the seed is there.
We may be forgetful of our existence.
We may be forgetful of our existence.
Nirman, void, or hallucination. But because the weed
Nirvana, void, or hallucination, but because the need,
the seed is there, as soon as the
The seed is there as soon as the
effect of such imperfect method is
the effect of such imperfect method is
finished, again you come to that.
Finished, again it'll come back.
Oh, again, this is the bij.
Again, this is the bij.
Again it'll come back.
The same example, just like weeds.
Same example, just like weeds.
In the field, they appear completely dried up.
In the field, they appear completely dried up.
There is no more. But as soon as there are drops of rain, again it
There is no more, but as soon as there are drops of rain, again it comes.
becomes green. Because the seed is there.
it becomes green because the seed is there.
So if you want to wipe out this
so if you want to wipe out this
seed of this material existence,
seed of this material existence,
then Prahlad Maharaj recommends
Then Prahlad Maharaj recommends
the Tatra Upaya Sahasranam. There may be
Tatra basayanam. There may be
many hundreds and thousands of process.
Many hundreds and thousands of processes.
For wipe out, not wipe out, just to bring you to some transcendental position.
For wipeout, not wipeout, just to bring him to some transcendental position.
Forgetfulness of your material existence. That
Something suffer from material existence,
Forgetfulness of the material existence.
forgetfulness of material existence.
maybe, but Prahlad Maharaj says, the Sahasranam ayam
Maybe, but Prahlad Maharaj says, samsara,
Bhāgavato uditaha, the method of Krishna consciousness
the method of Krishna consciousness
described in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, jadi
just like in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam,
Sare Bhagavati Jathajayi Ranjasarati. This can give you the
Sanskrit. This can give you
a wiping out method.
a wiping out method.
If you come to Krishna consciousness,
If you come to Krishna consciousness,
then the seed of material existence
Then the seed of material existence
will be completely stopped.
Will become completely stopped.
Because there will be no, it is very practical.
because there will be no, it is very practical.
What is this Krishna consciousness? We are
what is this Krishna consciousness you have?
described several times that
I have described several times
that you have
Anukullena Krishnanushilanam. Why this sound?
Anukulyena Krishna Shila.
This, why this sound?
Anukullena Krishnanushilanam. You have to serve Krishna.
The Anukulena Krishna
Shilanam. Shilanam.
Shyanam, that you have to serve Krishna
Favorable. That's all.
Favorably, that's all.
And in another passage we find
And in another passage, we find
that Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Richat. Krishna consciousness means
that Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Uchate, that Krishna consciousness means
that these, I mean to say, our senses,
that these are senses.
at the present moment, they are engaged in material activities.
At the present moment, they are engaged in material activities.
So you have to change the rubber stamp, simply.
So you have to change
the rubber stamp.
Simply.
Simply.
You have to act, not that by Krishna consciousness you will be a dull stone.
You have to act, not by Krishna consciousness, you become a dumb stone.
No, the activity will be there.
No, the activity will be there.
Therefore, sometimes we are misunderstood. That what sort of Krishna consciousness is there? They are also eating.
Therefore, sometimes
Or they
we're misunderstood.
What
Go ahead.
what sort of Krishna consciousness they are eating?
are also typewriting. They are also going to office. They are also working.
They're also typewriting. They're also going to office. They're also working.
And everything is there. They are looking after printing press. And so many things, everything. What is this Krishna? Because it is simply
So many things. What is this Krishna? Because it is simply
being done on account of Krishna.
because it is simply being done on account of Krishna.
The consciousness is the same.
The consciousness is the same.
The
Your
process may be the same.
consciousness, my consciousness is the same. If you
The Krishna consciousness and my consciousness are the same.
apply to certain objective, that is called that consciousness.
It is applied to serve an objective. That is called Krishna consciousness.
Similarly, if you apply your consciousness simply for Krishna,
Similarly, if you apply your consciousness simply for Krishna,
anukullena Krishnanusilanam, just favorable, and engage your senses
Anukulena sevanam. Just favorably, you have to engage your senses.
For the purpose of Krishna.
For the purpose of Krishna,
As Krishna advises in the Bhagavad Gita,
As Krishna advises in the Bhagavad Gita,
Jiddha Samamanusmara, you fight at the same time, think of me.
You fight, but simply think of me. Remember me. What was it?
At the same time, think of me.
Oh, what was it? Your turn? Sorry.
That is the prescription. So, Arjuna,
That is the prescription. So Arjun,
he was a fighter. In the beginning, he was a fighter.
He was a fighter. In the beginning, he was a fighter.
At the end, he remained a fighter. He did not change his position.
At the end, he remained a fighter. He did not change his position.
After hearing Bhagavad Gita, he did not change his position.
After hearing Bhagavad Gita, he did not change his position.
He was a fighter and he became a mendicant or he became a Swami. No,
He was a fighter, not a mendicant. Something-
I think it was he didn't become
He didn't become a mendicant
or a Swami.
or a swami.
he did not become a Swami. He remained this fighter.
he didn't become a Swami, he remained a fighter.
But the account was changed. Robert stamp was changed. That
but their account was changed. Status was changed.
That's all. He was considering fighting from his own standard point of view.
but he was considering fighting, but from his own standard point of view.
He was thinking, oh, how can I fight with my grandfather?
He was thinking, oh, how can I fight with my grandfather?
How can I fight with my teacher? How can I? So he was
How can I fight with my teacher? So he was
thinking on his personal account.
Was thinking on his personal account.
But when Krishna informed me, instructed him,
But when Krishna instructed him,
Gita, that your business is to fight for me.
Bhagavad Gita, that your business is to fight for me.
And he changed his decision. This is Krishna consciousness.
And he changed his decision. This is Krishna consciousness.
You have to change your position. That's all. This is
You have to change your position. That is all.
Bhagavatam. This is, if you practice acting only for Krishna,
If you practice only acting only for Krishna,
then that seed of your material existence will be wiped.
then that seed of your material existence will be wiped out.
Complete. So that is bija nirharanam, wiping out the seed.
Completely. So that is Sanskrit, wiping out the seed completely.
Together. Guru Susaya Bhaktya Sarval Habha Arpanena Cha Sangena Sadhu Bhaktyanam Ishara Aradhanena Cha. Now he is prescribing what is Krishna consciousness.
Sanskrit. Now he's prescribing what is Krishna consciousness.
How to practice it. The practice is, the first thing is, Prahlad Maharaj recommends,
How to practice it? To practice it, the first thing Prahlad Maharaj recommends,
Guru Shushrusha. Guru Shushrusha. Guru Shushrusha means that you have to first of all select a spiritual master.
Guru Shushusha, Guru Shushusha, Guru Shushusha means first you have to select a spiritual master.
Without a teacher, without guidance, nobody can make any process.
Without a teacher, without guidance, nobody can make any spiritual progress.
Even if you have passed MA and if you want to put some thesis,
Even if you are past chemist and if you want to, and if you have a, I don't know what he said, but he said something about physics.
Even if, go ahead, you got it? Got it?
If
If you're past your MA and you want to put some thesis,
and if you want to get yourself doctorate degree, then it is the system.
and if you want to get your certificate, doctorate degree, then it is the system.
That the thesis should be guided by 3 expert PhDs.
that the thesis be guided by the expert PhDs.
Oh,
By 3 PhDs?
3 expert PhDs.
3 expert PhDs.
This is the system. Similarly, if you want to be purely a Krishna conscious
This is the system. Similarly, if you want to be purely Krishna conscious,
person, then you must select a person who can give you instruction,
then you must select a person who can give you instruction,
who can guide you in the matter of Krishna consciousness.
Who can guide you in the matter of Krishna consciousness?
So, Bhagavad Gita also teaches us the same thing, that vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya.
So the Bhagavad Gita teaches us the same thing. It's 434.
Tadvidhi pranipatena.
Pariprasnena sevaya.
If you want to understand that transcendental science, then you have to understand from an expert.
If you want to understand that transcendental science, then you have to understand it from an expert.
Upadikshanti tad jnanam. The expert who is expert in that knowledge.
Tadvidi. Tadjnanam. You want to understand, you have to understand from an expert.
He will instruct you. Upadikshanti tad jnanam. Jnanina tattvadarshana.
He will instruct you. Upadekshanti tad jnanam. Jnaninas tattvadarshana.
One who has actually realized, he will teach you.
One who has actually realized, he will teach.
Therefore, you have to go such a person.
Person.
And in the Kathopanishad, Vedas, it is also stated.
And in the Kathopanishad Vedas, it is also stated.
The same thing. Tad vijnanatham sa gurumeva avigachet.
It is said the same thing. Tad eva vigachet.
If you want to learn that science, the transcendental science,
If you want to learn that science, the transcendental science,
then you have to approach a bona fide spiritual master.
And you have to approach a bona fide spiritual master.
Who is bona fide spiritual master? That is also mentioned.
Who is bona fide spiritual master? That is also mentioned.
Samitmani Sotiyam Brahmanishta. The spiritual master, there are two signs.
Sanskrit, spiritual master, there are two signs.
What is that? Srotriyam. Srotriyam means he is coming in disciplic succession.
There are two signs. What is that? Shrotyam. Shrotyam means he is coming in disciplic succession.
By hearing process. This is very important.
By the hearing process, this is very important.
One has to hear from the superior, not to manufacture.
One has to hear from the superior, not manufactured.
One must hear because the subject matter is transcendental.
One must hear because the subject matter is transcendental.
Beyond our senses. Simply the same example.
beyond our senses, simply the same example.
If you want to know something about India, and because I have come from India,
If you want to know something about India, and I have come from India,
you can ask me what is the Indian condition, I can present perfectly.
You can ask me, what is the Indian condition? And I can tell you perfectly.
But you cannot imagine, or you have to read some books of India.
But you cannot realize it, or you have to read some books on India.
I think he said, you cannot imagine.
So this is the process of knowledge. So in the Bhagavad Gita also it is stated,
So this is the process of knowledge. So in the Bhagavad Gita, it is stated,
Evam parampara praptam, imam rajasya vidu, that parampara by disciplic succession.
Evam parampara praptam, by disciplic succession.
So Guru means Srotriya, who has heard nicely, perfectly from his spiritual knowledge.
This means nicely, it means you have perfectly heard from
Spiritual master is he who has heard nicely, perfectly from his spiritual master.
And his spiritual master must have heard from his spiritual master.
And his spiritual master's master heard from his spiritual master.
In this way, God, ultimately, Krishna becomes the spiritual master.
In this way, go on. Ultimately, Krishna becomes the spiritual master.
Just like Krishna instructed Arjuna. And if you follow the principles of Arjuna,
It's like Krishna instructed Arjuna. And if you follow the principles of Arjuna,
as he heard, as he understood, then you also hear from Krishna.
As he heard, as he understood, then you also hear from Krishna.
What did he do, Krishna? Arjuna, after hearing Bhagavad Gita?
What did he do, Krishna, Arjuna, after hearing Bhagavad Gita?
He said, oh, my dear Krishna, nasto moha, my illusion is over.
He said, "Oh, my dear Krishna, my illusion is over."
Tat prasada, by your kindness. That means you have so kindly instructed me.
Bhagavad Prashada, by your kindness, that means you have kindly instructed me.
Now my illusion is over. Then what you are going to do? Your illusion is over.
I didn't get the first part. Then what will I do? The illusion is over.
He just repeated, my illusion is over. Now what to do that my illusion is over?
Karise tat vachanam. I shall act as you are advising me. That means I shall fight. I shall fight. So,
I shall fight. Sorry, I didn't catch a lot of that.
I will act as you're advising me. I shall fight. I shall fight.
Arjuna understood Krishna in this way. That is a fact. You'll find.
Evam Praptim, Krishna understood Arjuna in this way. You will find
In the Bhagavad Gita. Now, if you follow the principle, the footprints of Arjuna,
in the Bhagavad Gita. Now, if you follow the principles of
The footprints of Arjuna.
Arjuna understood Bhagavad Gita in this way. Now,
Arjuna understood Bhagavad Gita in this way.
if you follow the principles of Arjuna, then you understand Bhagavad Gita.
If you follow the principles of Arjuna, then you understand Bhagavad Gita.
It is not very difficult. That is stated what Arjuna understood.
It is not very difficult. That is stated how Arjuna understood.
That is stated in the Bhagavad Gita in the 10th chapter, Param Brahma Paramadhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavat.
It is stated in Bhagavad Gita in the 10th chapter, Param Dharma, Param, I don't know.
He accepted that you are Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nobody knows about your personality.
He simply has to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one knows any other personality.
I think Prabhupada stated, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nobody can understand your personality.
These things are described there. So you haven't got to labor very hard.
This is described there. So you have not got to labor very hard.
If you simply follow Mahajana Jena Gatasya Pantha,
If you simply follow Mahaprasada Sevaya,
if you follow the footprints of great personalities like Arjuna, like Narad,
if you simply follow the footprints, such great personalities, Arjuna,
Narada. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees.